I received this record from my dad for Christmas, so it's the most recent record in my collection. It's Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie, or the long name. The long name is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, but I'm just going to call it Ziggy Stardust. Yes, I've never listened to this before. I would have heard a couple of the big tracks off of it, like I have heard the song Starman hundreds of times probably. There's a Starman. And I reckon when I hear Moonage Daydream, I'll know what it is as well, but I am pretty sure the rest of this record I have not heard. So I'll be listening to this record in full for the first time today to get the full David Bowie experience. Didn't listen to much David Bowie growing up, obviously, because I've not listened to this album. This is his most famous album. David Bowie is such a huge figure within the music sphere and is a figure that I just never gravitated towards or listened to growing up. I would hear like his tracks, his big ones, around and about, just being in life, you can't miss it, but just never listened to his albums, to be honest. So at the age of 26, here I am finally listening to this thing, and I feel like I'm gonna love it. This album is also very special to me for another reason, and it's just weird that I also never listened to it because of this reason. My childhood pet, my childhood dog, his name was Ziggy, and he was named after Ziggy Stardust, like after David Bowie. This is him. He's so cute. He was a golden Labrador. That's me without a fringe. But yeah, he was a golden Labrador. He was so fun. He was like really, he had the biggest personality. I loved him so much. And he was named after this album. So this album already means a lot to me because of the name alone. It reminds me of my dog. Let's listen to this record and hopefully I don't cry because that's sort of embarrassing. I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming with a lot of these records that I'm reacting to be completely honest. Like, how did we get here? If you would like to see just like the full cut of this, it's up on my Patreon, and any early release of my reactions is also up on my Patreon. I'm not gonna have the thing up. I'm gonna be big for this one just because I don't feel like editing all that together this time around. I'm just feeling a bit tired.
Pushing through the market square, Earth was really dying. Cried so much his face was wet. Then I knew he was not lying. I heard telephones, opera house. My brain hurt like a warehouse. It had no room to spare. I had to cram so many things to store everything in there. And all the fat, skinny people. And all the tall, short people. And all the somebody people. I never thought I'd need so many people.
Oh. It's interesting to listen to Bowie that's not like a hit, because I've only listened to his hits before. It's a lot more somber and heartfelt than I imagined. The strings.
Cop knelt and kissed the feet of a priest, and the queer grew up beside of that.
Oh, the strings and piano are just beautiful together.
I think I saw you in an ice cream parlor. And it was cold and it rained, so I felt like an actor. And I thought of more, and I wanted to get back there. Your face, your race, the way that you talk. I kiss you, you're beautiful. I want you to walk. We got 5 years. What a surprise. We got 5 years. My brain hurts a lot. We've got 5 years. What a surprise. 5 years. Stuck on mine. We've got 5
His performance is so moving.
5 years. Stuck on mine. 5 years. What a surprise. We've got 5 years. My brain hurts a lot. 5 years. What a surprise.
Wow.
5 years. Stuck on mine. We've got 5 years. My brain hurts a lot. 5 years.
to that original drum as well. I didn't think on the first track of the album I'd already be listening to some of my favorite Bowie I've ever heard. Like, that was just so tender, so real, so raw. That emotion. Ugh. Too emotional for this.
Brave son who gave his life to save the slogan that hovers between the headstone and her eyes, for they penetrate her grieving.
Wow, what beautiful lyrics! Ooh. Oh my. All I have is my love of love. Relate. I'm in a sax moment. Wow. The instrumentation across these first few tracks is so luscious. Whoa. I love that. Love the switch up. Oh, I love that line so much. Gosh, this song is like just a little bit more low-key than 5 Years, but really lovely. Oh. I'm reading the lyrics, by the way, down here. I just don't want to miss anything. Yeah, I know this one. I sort of know it. Once again, such strong piano on this track, just like the first track. Lovely chords. Whoa! Whoa, nice drums. Make me know you really care. Make me jump into the air. Keep your electric on me, babe. Press your space, let's go to mine, love. Oh, I love the drums though. Oh! It's new to me. Woo! Strings! It just elevates everything when you put the strings in. Guitar. Whoa! Oh! It like feels like you're flying off into space. Guitar solo! That guitar solo ruled! Loved all the echo on it. So atmospheric. I need a second before we go into Starman, because I know Starman, like that's the one song that I really know on this album. Moonage Daydream, I've heard the riff of the guitar before, but apart from that, that song is pretty new to me actually. Yeah, I've been living under a rock apparently. But 5 Years. 5 Years was the banger of that first section of the album. It was the standout track. That song blew me away. I was actually tearing up a little bit. I was a bit emotional towards the end of that track. It sort of gave me like Stargazer vibes in the sense of like a really overly emotional outro that just goes on and on and on and like repeats over and over again. My favorite song ever, All I Need by Radiohead, does the same thing. It's like this big crescendo of like emotion and noise towards the end of the track. 5 Years has that, and I really like that about 5 Years. And then Soul Love is so charming in its sound. Its lyrics are a bit more sad at points. I don't know if it's just how I interpret lyrics about love. I'm always cynical about that maybe, but the actual sound of the track felt very charming. I really liked it a lot. I think it was a really nice follow-up to 5 Years. And then Moonage Daydream I liked a lot. The guitar solo was so like I said, it really like takes you into Starman, because Starman I know, and I can feel that sort of concept coming out of this idea of this Starman, David Bowie, or Ziggy Stardust. I can feel the space vibes. I can feel it sort of happening right now. I can feel like all this celestial sort of like heavenly higher being sort of vibes going on right now. So yeah, I'm feeling it. I think Moonage Daydream though weirdly was my least favorite track out of those three. Strange. I just like even love the offbeat sound of these guitar chords. Like it all just feels a little off. I love that.
Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, not a soul said. Then the loud sound
Nice.
it seemed to fade.
I love that part.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our mind. Let the children lose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie.
It feels redundant to react to this. I've heard it so many times. I think this song, it's more about like the placement within the album that I'm interested in.
I can see his light. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it. Let the children use it. Let all the children boogie.
I'd actually have to say this part is my least favorite part of the song. I like everything else so much. It's so good. The strings, Davy. Not usually a big fan of like happy music, but Starman, you're the exception. It ain't easy. Is this the cover? I know there's one cover on the album.
When you climb to the top of the mountain,
Cool.
look out over the sea. Think about the place, perhaps, where a young man could be.
Alright. Oh my god, I have this music too. Ooh.
We can all pull on through, get there in the end. Sometimes it'll take you right up. It ain't easy to get to satisfaction, the calling from inside.
Like he has so much character in his delivery.
Trying to get to you. All the woman really wants. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy to get to
Okay, this song did not wow me at all. No, David, go back to your own writing. Lady Stardust. Yeah, back to the piano. Yeah! Woo. You can tell it's a David Bowie song. They all have this feeling.
Jumped up on the stage, Lady Stardust sang songs of darkness and disgrace, and he was all right. The song went on forever. Yes, he was all night.
Woo! Nice.
Really quite out of time, and he sang all night.
Oh my gosh, I can't get over the piano.
I smiled sadly for a love I could not obey. Lady Stardust sang songs of darkness and dismay, and it was all right.
Woo!
Up all night.
I love that change.
Paradise, and he sang all night. Ooh, how I sighed when they asked if I knew his name. Oh, there was all right. Really quite paradise. He sang all night long.
I think, from my general knowledge, David Bowie used to be like controversial for having like homosexual themes in his music. I feel like I could sort of pick that up in that song a bit. I don't know, it's quite subtle. I guess back then it's like a really big deal, maybe. I don't know. It's 1972. It's interesting, yeah, because I have to bring myself back to like 1972. Ooh. After two slow songs, I'm vibing this upbeat sort of jive. Let's go. Ooh, nice. Finally, like a song you can dance to on this record. Let's go. Ow. Every time I hit myself. I love it. Oh, I love it. I liked that one. Yeah, Bowie. Another one upbeat.
Ooh, she's a tongue-twisting song. Come to the show tonight. Bring to the life machine. She wants my heart and all my money. She's a bucket bar collector. Come on. If you think we're gonna make it better,
Jeez. The whole album just took a turn. Oh my gosh.
Well, the beat comes up better on a stolen guitar. You're the blessed with the spiders from Mars. Come on. If you think we're gonna make it, you better hang on to yourself. Come on.
Wow, okay. You put like two songs that were quite low-key, very like quite slow, and then two really upbeat songs in a row.
If you think we're gonna make it, you better hang on to yourself.
I like the sound of that. Gosh, he is like the king of catchiness. You can see see how so much like popular rock and pop music was inspired by this, like in decades to come. Oh! Come on! Oh, I love that outro. I really like that outro. Because I was like, oh, okay, this song's good, but I reckon Star's like probably the better one of the two upbeat ones that we've had in here in a row. But hang on to yourself. I really like that outro. That outro is quite catchy. Come on, ah, come on, ah. What did I just listen to? Because I feel like the first three tracks really worked together so well. There was such a flow to them. And then even the flow from Moonage Daydream into Starman, even though I took a break in the middle, like, oh, I could imagine, like, that would be such a nice transition too. So those first four tracks, I just feel like they flow together so well. And then It Ain't Easy and Lady Stardust, I feel like they're so jarring in how, like, different they are from the first four tracks. They slow down so much, and then with Star and Hang On To Yourself, you, like, speed up so much. It's just like, But it might just also be that I didn't really like It Ain't Easy and Lady Stardust that much, which might just be a preference for I don't really like slow Bowie, potentially. I want more intense Bowie. That's just my preference, maybe, with his sound. Because Star and Hang On To Yourself I really liked. So it could just be that I just didn't really like that middle section of the album because it gets too slow for me. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like anyone else struggles with that middle section and how slower than fast it feels. And I think especially after the first four tracks, which are just like perfection. As well. I think it's really hard to follow up on that. I'm really excited about the last three songs in the album to see what we've got here because Star and Hang On To Yourself has really gotten me back into the mood, I reckon. I'm feeling it now because I really liked those two tracks and I feel like the upbeatness of this record is keeping me awake, it's keeping me going. I want this, but I want like more emotion maybe. I want more rawness because I feel like Hang On To Yourself and Star just wasn't as emotional as 5 Years was. But also 5 Years is going to be my favourite track on the album, like you can already tell. Nothing's going to beat it. 5 Years is like one of my new favourite songs ever. I know this riff. Yeah, I know the riff. But I never really intentionally listened to this song.
Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird, and he played it left hand.
I'm left-handed.
Played it too far.
Oh.
They came on so loaded, man. Well hung in snow white tan. So where were the spiders?
Ooh. Oh, I love it when he gets like into it with the electric guitar.
So we bitched about his fans and should we crush his sweet hand?
Nice.
He was the Nas.
Nas? What's that?
God-given ass.
Whoa.
Making love with his ego. Ziggy sucked up into his mind. I had to break up the band.
Oh no! Ziggy! Yeah, this must be a pretty famous riff if like I know the riff but I don't know the song.
Ziggy played guitar.
I don't know if I'm biased because I love the name Ziggy because of my dog. And he mentions Ziggy so much. I'm like, yeah, Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. Tell me more. Oh, I like how... I like it. Let's keep it going.
But she's a total blam blam. She said she had to squeeze it, but then she all on me, man, 'cause you can't afford the ticket.
I have so many goosebumps. What a great song. You can feel the influence from like 60s music. Blues, rock, guitar. Oh, I love the guitar solos. This song is a banger! It's piano chords! Oh, the piano.
Back on Suffragette City.
Oh my god.
Suffragette City.
This song is everything. It has everything.
I'm down, Benjamin.
Why? It's so cool. David Bowie is so cool. I love that. It's like an electric feel to it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I loved that.
It's a cigarette,
Oh.
puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then cigarette. You're too old to lose it, too young to choose it.
Yes.
And the clock waits so
Yes.
patiently on your song.
I'm really hoping this goes where I want it to go.
No, you're a rock and roll suicide. She'd break the snarling as you
Ooh.
stumble across the road.
Yes.
Don't let the milk
Magic.
drive your mind. They're so natural, religiously unkind. Oh no, love, you're not alone. You're watching yourself, but you're too
Is that a
unfair.
string?
You got your head all
Bowie?
tangled up, but a bar can only make it clear. No, love, you're not alone. No matter what or who you blame, all the knives need to lacerate your brain. I've had my share, I'll help you with the pain. You're not alone. Just turn on with me, and you're not alone. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful. Oh, give me your
Oh. Oh. What was that brass? What did that brass do to me? Bum, 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 bum. Oh my god. That's it. Like, that's the exact type of music I like. Suffragette City was so dancey. It just went to like run around my room. But that would be off camera, so I'm not gonna do that. But oh my god, Suffragette City, like that will just pump me up. Like that is my pump up song from like now on. Rock and Roll Suicide is this absolute, like I said 5 years was like this crescendo, or like this build up and then fall. The rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust, of course, and then Rock and Roll Suicide also has like that rise, but then no fall, just a rise, and just ends with like the best moment of the album, in my opinion. I loved that ending of Rock and Roll Suicide. I also loved the ending of 5 Years though. It's just Rock and Roll Suicide's more in my mind because I just listened to it, but I loved both. I think Suffragette City as well is like my third. But then the first and last track on the album are tied for first place of my favorite songs in the album. I don't know which one to pick. I think I have to listen to them again like a lot more times, and I'll put it like down here, which one I ended up picking out of the two of my actual favorite. But I loved both of them so much. Overall, I really liked the first act that I heard. If you sort of count as 3 acts of what I actually listened to, I really loved the first act. Like the first 4 tracks were great. And then I think the next 4 tracks lacked a little bit. I don't know, because everyone says this album is like perfect, right? So I don't know what I'm missing there, but I really didn't enjoy 5 and 6 that much. It Ain't Easy and Lazy Stardust. I don't know, they just weren't really what I was looking for. They didn't have the elements of Bowie that I love so much and that make him so special to me. Like, I love him for the emotion, for the big moments. Give me that outburst on those choruses, on those outros. Like, give me all of it. He's so good at that. He's such a performer. He can provide so much authenticity to a track. And It Ain't Easy and Lazy Stardust, I feel like he just doesn't shine on those tracks. Like, his strengths don't really show. Star and Hang On To Yourself, I like those tracks, but I don't like love them. They're not, once again, I think David at his best. But then Ziggy Stardust through to Rock and Roll Suicide, I think is, once again, David at his best. From the little David I've heard. But yeah, those first 4 tracks and those last 3 tracks, what an amazing sandwich. Like, this sandwich, the bread is the best part. and the insides it's like, okay, that was a mixed bag, but the bread, it's the best bread in the world. Suffragette City's insane. And Rock and Roll Suicide. Rock and Roll Suicide, I was shaking. I was getting emotional again. 5 years, I got emotional as well. Like, this guy, I know he can make me cry. That's something special there. I love his lyrics as well. It has to be said. His lyrics are amazing. I feel like he's talking to me. Like, I feel like he's reaching out to me. It's crazy because he's doing this concept album. He's created this idea of this man, Ziggy Stardust, but I feel like the album's still so personal. Like, he's talking about himself. I feel like he's talking about me on this album, but it's like through this concept of Ziggy Stardust. I love the lusciousness as well of the instrumentals all the time. Like, all the piano kills it. I loved the sax, loved the brass, the guitars. It all just came together so perfectly. Everything got a heart except for 3 songs. It Ain't Easy, which doesn't get anything from me. I don't really like that song. I feel like Ziggy Stardust is a little too upbeat for me. It's a little too happy. It's just not my style. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. I am like in this little section of the screen because my foot is numb and I can't move currently. So bye from this corner. Very nice to listen to this album. It's been a treat. My dog died like 5 years ago, by the way. I'm acting like this dog died yesterday. My dog did not die recently. I'm okay. Bye-bye.